Good morning. So this is going to be a CrossFit based yoga practice. We're going to start off with 3 rounds of breathing, Wim Hof style breathing, and then we are going to move into a real fusion of Kundalini, vinyasa style power yoga, and then some beautiful yin type stretches, because CrossFit is meant to be a blend of different aspects of keep fit and nutrition. And so I'm going to cover the breathing for your health, and I'm going to cover cardio and stretching and strength, and we're really going to build up a routine that you can use hopefully practically once or twice a week. And if you like the video, please like, and obviously if you like the channel, subscribe. Okay, so before we get into our yoga for CrossFit, we're going to do 3 rounds of Wim Hof breathing. In the final round, for 1 minute, we're going to hold a Kundalini pose. It's quite a vigorous, active pose, and we're going to do it with our breath out. Our lower backs are glued to the floor, so it's going to really work the abs, the lower back and the legs. It's going to warm up and fire up the core and the legs. So we're going to, if you want to make it easy, you can put your hands under your bottom. The legs come out and you shake them. This is part of a Kundalini Kriya called Child's Play. And it feels quite funny, but it's very, very vigorous and it's very active. And so then we'll come up to sitting, or actually we'll stay lying down, because I think you'll probably feel lightheaded after this, and take our recovery breath. Okay, so round 1, breathe in and out. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Breathe in 100% of capacity, out at 70. In and out. In and out. We're going to do 30 breaths each round, and we're going to breathe into 100%, out to 70. The first 2 rounds we'll hold our breath for 1.5 minutes. If you want to hold it longer, I'll cue up at 10 seconds so you can pause the video. But if you do need to hold your breath less than that and you feel the urge to breathe, then just breathe, take a recovery breath, and then continue with the breathing. This is your practice, so make it your own practice however you want to. So keep breathing in and out. You can do this seated like I am, or you can do it lying down. Please never do it standing or operating machinery or driving or near water. 10 more breaths in and out. In and out. In and out. Let's make these the biggest ones. In, full capacity, out. In and out. Well done. Keep going. 5 more. Belly, chest, head. Let it go. Belly, chest, head. Let it go. Keep going. Got 2 more. This is our last one, biggest one yet. Huge belly breath in. Let it all out. 100% of the air out. And we're just going to hold this breath out now for 1 minute 30. If you do need to breathe before, that's absolutely fine. And if you want to hold your breath longer, that's also obviously fine. So really now go inside. Feel the sensations in the body. Any lightheadedness or dizziness. Any tingling, pins and needles. We've put the body into a hyper-oxygenated state, and this will trigger hermetic stress. So anytime we do this conscious breathing, we are beginning to take control of the body, and that's a really good thing. Someone asked me why I let all of the air out of my lungs in this breath hold, and that is because you're then challenging the body's natural desire, when it has empty lungs, to take a breath. So again, you're learning to control the autonomic nervous system. We've done 1 minute. You're doing really well. So if we can do this next 30 together, that's amazing. I'll cue up at 10 seconds. Also, if you ever need to swallow, saliva builds up during the practice, you can swallow, but just keep pressure in the back of the face. Okay, 10 seconds. So you don't let air in. 5 seconds. Ready? And we're going to take a recovery breath in together. Right. Huge breath in. Hold it and force all of the muscles up into the head. Force it pushing the muscles into the head. This will generate heat and fire in the body. Letting go. Awesome. Let's move on to round 2. 30 breaths together. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. In and out. In and out. Circular breaths, like the waves on the shore, coming in and out. No space between the in-breath and the out-breath. We're forcing oxygen into the body, reducing the amount of carbon dioxide. So we're tipping our body well out of homeostasis. We're putting it into a forced stress, but we're in control of it. So instead of the body being debilitated and going into fight and flight, we're actually going into a controlled relaxation mode. We've got 10 more together. Really, really intensify the feelings. So if you're feeling like lightheaded, intensify it. Push up further into the head. Push if you're feeling you have like a fizziness in your stomach. Intensify it. Really, really make this practice about creating sensations. This is our last one. Huge breath in. Let everything out and go inside. Some people, many Wim Hofers like to pinch their nose shut to keep air from seeping into the nose here. That's absolutely fine. I tend to keep some pressure at the back of my nose to prevent that from happening. Just keep some pressure in the face. But make it your own practice. Do what you want to do. Again, if at any point you want to lie down, just do it. You don't have to sit up. If you feel dizzy, then just lie down. Absolutely fine. Just keep going. You're doing really, really well. This is such an amazing way for you to take control of your autonomic nervous system and reset it. So any autonomic nervous autoimmune diseases or complaints that you may have, you're really going to challenge that now and start to recover homeostasis at the correct level. So for instance, I used to have hay fever really, really badly to the point where I had asthma all summer, and I no longer get that. And there are thousands of other people, hundreds of thousands, that have had similar results. Okay, 10 seconds here. So if you want to pause the video, do so now. 5 seconds. Get ready to take a recovery breath in now. Huge breath. Push every single muscle as though you're pushing that air into the brain, decalcifying the pineal gland, pushing it upwards. Force the muscles up. Push it, hold it, really scrunch and let go. Amazing. Right, we're moving on to round 3, our final round. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Waving in and out. As I've said before in many of my videos, if you feel any anxiety during the practice or following the practice of Wim Hof breathing, then breathe through your nose, because breathing through the mouth can cause some people to have stress or anxiety. So you can always revise this practice to make it work for you. Breathing in and out. Remember, this is a 1-minute breath hold this time, but we're going to do a Kundalini Kriya movement called shaking your legs, and we're going to keep our backs glued to the floor and our bottom glued to the floor and pull the abs, shaking the feet. It's child's play, but you will feel dizzy towards the end. So just, if you need to rest your feet down, do so. 10 more breaths. In and out. In and out. In and out. Keep going. Doing really well. 5 more here. Let's make these huge. Biggest ones yet. Push down into that diaphragm and force the air into the head. Keep going. 1 more. Huge breath in. Let all of this air out. Come onto the back. Glue the spine and the stomach to the floor. Put the feet out and shake. You will feel dizzy towards the end of this. I did.
and that's to be expected. If it's too much, just let your feet come to the floor and just rest. We're only holding it for a minute, so let's see if you can do it, but if you can't, that's fine. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's not easy. It's called child's playing Kundalini, but it is tricky. It's really firing up those abs at this stage and the legs and forcing the blood the wrong way in the body. 10 seconds left. Let's see if we can hold it. Keep going, keep shaking. 5 seconds. And big breath in. Let the legs come, fall down and push the muscles up and force the breath into the head. Push it. Last push. And let it go. Well done. I just want you to stay on the mat. You probably feel a little bit lightheaded at this stage. I just want you to take some recovery breaths. Close the mouth down now and let's just breathe slowly in and out through the nose. No more big breaths. We just need to recover. We need to let the carbon dioxide levels build up again and our body return to homeostasis. So let's just take that moment. Okay, well done. Okay, you can stay laying down for a few minutes if you're still feeling any after effects. If not, join me on the mat and we'll start our yoga for CrossFit. Okay, drop the head down and we're going to do full head circles if there's no pain in the neck. So breathe in at the front, breathe out at the back, let gravity take the head. Really let the crystals of stress that have built up from our lifestyles get broken down with this movement. Other way, breathe in at the front, out at the back at your own pace. Full head circles if you have no pains in the neck. If you have pain in the neck, just do half circles. Well done, keep going. Okay. Take the fingers to the shoulders and the thumbs to the back of the shoulders and then breathe in the middle and out as you rock the elbow down to the floor. I'm getting photobombed heavily by animals today, I'm afraid. I took my practice outside because I'm also getting photobombed by a Christmas tree. So that's why I'm outside today. Keep going. From one side to the other, breathing in at the centre and out as you come to the side. We're stretching into the sides, but we're also opening the shoulders and the hips, which are two of the areas which need working in with the CrossFit. Okay, hands into Venus lock behind the back. Look up and fold forward over the legs. Again, we're opening the shoulders and the hips, which is ideal for CrossFit devotees. Change the cross of your legs. And we're going to do that again. So gaze up, open the shoulders, and then pull the head towards the floor and bring the shoulders over the back. These are areas that get tight with CrossFit users. So immediately we're going to warm up and open the hips and the shoulders. Have a little shake, and then we're going to come to all fours on the mat. We're going to do a variation on cat-cow here. Again from the Kundalini tradition. So I'd like you to take out, we're going to raise the right leg up with an out breath and bring it in with an in breath. So raise it up, head to knee, out, in, out, in. Kundalini is quite a vigorous form of yoga, and we breathe with each of the movements. So breathe in, out. Change legs. So the left leg raises, breathe in, head raises, breathe out, head to sternum, breathe in, breathe out. This is a variation on cat-cow, obviously much more vigorous than the usual version. So we're not just getting a back bend, we're also getting a side twist and a stretch in the leg. Really, really warming up the body here. Breathe in and out. In and out. In. Okay, bring it back to the mat. Excellent job. Well done. Okay, we'll just have a little calf stretch here. So take the right leg back, go onto the toes and just have a little pulse onto the calf muscle. Stretch it out and change legs. This is a full body workout. There won't be a muscle in your body that we haven't tweaked during this process. Okay, come onto the knees, face the front of the mat. I'm going to come into gate pose. So take the right leg out, foot facing forward, arms above the head, and breathe over to the side, getting a beautiful side stretch in the left-hand side of the body. Don't put too much weight on the knee here, the right knee. And then come into a modified side plank, keeping the hand underneath the shoulders. Come back, take hold of the right leg and making a C position, looking up to the sky. Just hold this, really opening out the front body now and opening out the groin. Let go, come back to the side plank, come back to gate pose and bring both knees back to the mat. Change knees. If you need support for your knees, you can put a cushion under them. Raise the hands up, breathe in, breathe out, take that side stretch, this time to the left. Keep the body in line here with the hips, so you're not twisting. Okay, modified side plank with the right leg down and the left leg out. And then we're going to take hold of the left leg and do that lovely back bend, really opening out the front body. Look up to the sky if you can balance. Back to the side plank. Back to gate pose. Back to the knees. I'm dreadfully sorry about the dog interference. Okay, it was pretty chilly today, so I'm going to lose the socks now to come up into downward dog pose. We're going to do thread the needle now to get a compression and a shoulder opener. So raise the right arm high, take it below the left arm, put the left arm out, the left leg out to get a calf stretch. So we've got a lot going on with this pose. The right shoulder and the right cheek is on the floor. So we're getting a beautiful stretch down the left-hand side of the body and compression in the right-hand side. Bring the hand back, the leg back, raise the right arm high, back to the mat. Change the arms. So left arm raises high to the ceiling, or the sky in my case. Fold beneath the right, come onto the right, the left cheek, the left shoulder. Right arm comes out, right leg comes out, getting a beautiful stretch in the right-hand side of the body and a compression in the left. Keep breathing during this process. Never hold your breath during yoga or any exercise really. Because when we're burning fat, we're also blowing off carbon dioxide, which is what 80% of our fat gets converted to. So breathing during exercise is a good thing. Otherwise it's going to get stored somewhere else. Okay, come up into downward dog. And just start to walk out the dog. Remember, there's no weight in the head in downward dog. It's a heart opener. So your head is pouring towards the chest, is opening and pouring towards the floor. Okay, we're going to do some little variations in this downward dog. So raise onto the toes, take them over to the right. So we're getting a stretch in the left. We're going to do lots of stretches and twists, and this will shape the waist, stretch to the other side, and it will also work out the internal organs and help with elimination. Come back to the centre, come onto the toes. We're going to do a Kundalini exercise now. So come onto the fingers and onto the toes. I'm just going to hold this. It's not easy, but it will break down crystals in the fingers and really fire up your nerves in the hands, keeping them warm, especially if you're practicing outside like me. Okay, come back onto the hands, spread them wide so you've got full weight through the hands and the arms, keeping no weight, pushing up through the shoulders so you're not collapsing into them. Okay, come onto the toes and roll forward, way forward into a plank. And we're going to do toe taps. So take it to the left, the right, left, right. So we're in plank doing toe taps. Right, left, right, left. Really fire up the core. Wave back to your downward dog and just take a breath. And then wave back to that plank And we're going to do raises to the knee to elbow. Left, right, left, right, left. So we're including cardio, stretching and strength building in this practice. These are all things that are work really well with classical CrossFit. Come back to your downward dog. And then take the right leg high and open the hip. Well done. Keep it even weight through the hands. Right, three-legged dog. Step to the outside of the right hand and we'll just hold this beautiful stretch. Variation on locust. Just hold it, look forwards. Keep breathing. Bring the back knee to the floor, so the left knee to the floor. And then push open the right knee. So we're getting a beautiful hip opener and a twist in the body. And look over the right shoulder. Awesome. Bring that knee back in. And then we're going to come to a side lunge on the right leg. Bring the hands to heart center. And then we're going to lunge to the back of the mat. Onto the left. And then we're going to lunge to the front of the mat, back onto the right, keeping hands at heart center. Come to a low lunge at the front of the mat. Step back into a plank. Tilt forward. Do a press up. Another press up. And this time we're going to do a press up and come into upward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Downward dog. Come back to your breath. We'll take those on the other side. Just get your breath back. Come back to even, long, steady breath through the nose. Take the left leg and open the hip. Keep an even weight through the hands. So the twist is in the body and a hip opener. Three-legged dog. Take it tall. And bring that foot to the outside of the left hand. And we'll just hold that variation on locust for a second before we take the twist. Back knee comes to the floor. Open out the left knee. So we're opening the hip and twist over the left shoulder. If you have pain in your knees here, you can roll up the mat or you could put something underneath it. Or you could keep the knee off the floor. Okay, side lunge to the front of the mat. On the left leg. You can put your hands down in this as well if you're struggling to balance. Side lunge to the back of the mat on the right leg. We all get wobbles. Side lunge to the front of the mat on the left. And then turn to your low lunge on your left leg. Look up. Come back to your plank. We'll take a press up here again. So press up. Come up. And again, press up. Come up. And this time press up. And we're going to go very, very slowly in chaturanga all the way to the floor. Okay, we're going to really fire up the back body now and use every major muscle. So take hold of both legs with your hands and we're going to raise up into half bow off the mat. Really, really open out the shoulders and pull up the legs. Try to keep the knees squeezed together. So we're going to try and, this basically uses every single major muscle group in the body. If you can take your head back in line with the keeping the arch and beautiful curve in the spine, that's great because that will also work out the thyroid and the parathyroid, stimulating the metabolism. Okay, come up into a cobra, keeping that hands underneath the shoulders and the shoulders active so we're not collapsing into them. It's all about protecting our joints. Again, take the head back if you feel comfortable because it will stimulate the thyroid. Awesome. And then step back into a downward dog. Come back to your breath. We'll use downward dog very often in yoga to come to a recovery pose. Okay, I want you to jump now to either side of your hands. I'll face you. And bring the hands to the heart center. So pressing the hands in prayer towards the sternum. And we're just going to hold this Malasana garland pose, and then we'll take a twist. So raise the right arm high and gaze up to it, and the left arm comes to the floor. Change sides, raise the left arm high, getting a beautiful twist in the body and this really good hip opener and compression. Hands back to heart center, and we're going to lift the bottom. So raise the bottom and the hips using the strength in the thighs. This really is going to burn into the glutes and the inner thighs. Keep going. Raise it up and down. Raise it up. Good. Now turn, stay in forward fold, and just begin to work out one leg then the other to get into the hamstrings. So bend one knee and then the other. You don't have to straighten your legs completely yet, but we are working towards straight. Big toes to touch and a gap between the heels now, please. And then we're going to raise the right arm high to the ceiling and left arm to the floor and get a beautiful twist in the body. Again, working the legs towards straight. Right hand comes to the floor, left hand twist to the ceiling, and gaze up to the left. Lots of twists, remember. We're going to work out the internal organs, shape the waist, and get beautiful trim abs. Okay, breathe in and slowly come up to standing. Raise the hands above the head and bring them to heart center with an out breath. Amazing. Okay, we're going to do some standing postures. So bring your leg, your right foot into the thigh, and we're going to come into tree pose. Breathe in, raise the hands above the head. Internally rotate the shoulders so your pinkies are turned towards each other. And just find a point of focus. Right, bring the foot out to staff pose, and we're going to try and straighten it and hold it out straight. Breathe, keep breathing. And now a modified 5-pointed star. Hold it. Keep steady. We're trying not to bring the foot down here. Back to staff pose. Hold it. Try and keep it out vertically. Back to a modified 5-pointed star. Keep breathing. It is not easy. It will be burning into the hips here. Okay, let's change sides. So bring up the left leg into the right thigh. Find your balance and bring the arms overhead, internally rotating the shoulders. Keep breathing and find a point of focus. Okay, bring the foot out to staff pose. Hold it straight out. Hold it. Keep breathing. Take it to a modified 5-pointed star. Hold it. Keep breathing. Back to the staff pose. Hold it vertically out. Keep going. It's not easy. Well done. Okay, we're going to come into Warrior 2 pose. So front foot faces left foot faces the front of the mat. Right foot turns in at 30. Bend down into that knee. Arms open, shoulders open, hips open. Again, we're working into the shoulders and the hips. Make sure the body is upright over the hips. Now, bring the right hand forward. I'm going to archer pose. So bend the knee, straighten. So as though we're pulling back on the strings of a bow and arrow. Lovely. Come back to Warrior 2, and we're going to take it over to a side angle pose. Imagine this is a side angle pose variation. Imagine you're holding a beach ball between the hands. This is going to be really burning now. Now straighten the leg and come into a triangle pose. Gazing up to the ceiling if you can. You can use blocks here, or you can put your hand onto your leg. Remember not to use your knee for support. Bring the right hand down, and we're going to do reverse triangle, getting a twist here. Gazing up to the left arm. Okay, bring the hands back down. Open up into a 5-pointed star. Hands together at heart center and squat down. And do pulses here. Make sure you're not leaning forward and that the weight is in the thighs. Raise up, 5-pointed star. Open the feet out, fold forward between the feet into a wide-legged forward fold. If you can hold on to the legs, that's great. We're trying to get the head towards the floor. Really take that to the extent that you can without feeling painful. Right, turn to the back of your mat now, and the right foot is at the front, the left foot's turned in, and sink down into your warrior 2 pose at the back of the mat. And we're going to take those archer poses again on this the other leg. So the left arm comes in, straighten, bend, straighten, use your breath here, bend, straighten. Really see how far you can sink down into that front knee. This is a huge, amazing strength building pose. Okay, come to that side angle pose. Again, imagine your hold is a variation. So imagine you're holding a beach ball. If you're struggling with this, you can bring the hand to the knee for support, or to the floor, or to a block. You don't have to take it to this full extent. This is a really strong abs as well as your thighs. Right, straighten that front leg and come up into triangle pose. Looking up to the ceiling. Make sure the back foot is working and the back leg is working, so not all of the weight is folded into the front. Okay, let's take that twisted triangle. So bring the left hand to the floor and raise the right hand to the ceiling, gazing up to the right hand. Bring it back to the floor. Come out into your 5-pointed star. Squat down. And this time take your both heels off the floor, and we're just going to pulse on our toes in this squat. Keep going. Keeping the weight into the bottom. So we're not leaning forward or folding over the knees. 5-pointed star. Come into that wide-legged stand, and we're going to come into our inversion here for this practice, which is going to be a headstand. So you can either do tripod headstand or head in hand headstand. I'm doing tripod because I'm going to show you how you can do it in stages. So we're going to take the knees to the elbows like a shelf, and then raise one leg, then the other. It's a really nice way of getting into it. If you don't feel steady enough to raise the legs, you can leave them on the elbows. So you're still getting the inversion, but the beauty of raising them up is you also build abdominal strength. Okay, so take the legs wide, and if you can, slowly bring them down and come back into a wide-legged forward fold. And then raise up. 5-pointed star. Turn back to the mat, warrior 2, to the front of the mat. Low lunge to the front of the mat. Plank, chaturanga. Breathe in, upward dog. Breathe out, downward dog. Awesome. That was not an easy standing posture. Just take some recovery breaths here. We're going to do a variation now on the other side. Raise the right leg high. Step it to the front of the mat. Low lunge. And then spin the arms round, come back into that warrior 2. And this time we're going to straighten the front leg and bring the arms above the head. With the in-breath, breathe out, back into the warrior 2. Breathe in, raise them up. Breathe out, sink down. Breathe in, raise up. Breathe out, sink down. Really sink down into the knee with that out breath. Good. And then reverse your warrior. Taking that beautiful side stretch in the right hand side of the body. And then we're going to step into half moon pose. So again, this is a shoulder and a hip opener. So open those shoulders, open the hips, and use your right hand for support, but don't put too much weight in it. Gaze up to the left hand. Amazing. Come down into a squat. 5-pointed star. And then we're going to come to the back of the mat, warrior 2, and we'll repeat that on the other side. Well done. Okay, so from warrior 2, we're going to straighten out the front leg and then bring the arms above the head with an in-breath. So breathe in, straighten, breathe out, fold. Breathe in, straighten, breathe out, fold. Really sink into that front leg. This is so good for building strength in the legs and the core, for holding that position. Okay, come forward, and then let's take a reverse warrior. Getting a beautiful stretch down that side of the body. Step onto the left foot. Open out into half moon pose. Again, open those hips, open those shoulders. And don't put too much weight into that front hand. Come into a squat. Open up, 5-pointed star. And then low lunge at the front of the mat. High plank, chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Amazing. Come back to your breath here. Use these downward dogs just to recover and come back to your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, we're going to hop between the feet here now and come into boat pose. And just hold this boat position. If you are struggling to hold the boat and stay on your sitting bones, then you can hold behind the knees. What we really want to do is work the abs with these boat poses. So we're going to come into low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat. Use your breath. So breathe in, out, in, out. Really use the abs to raise you up off the mat here. Awesome. Keep going. Breathing in and out. In and out. You're doing really well. Keep going. In. Hold it. Hold your boat. Awesome. Your core should be lovely and fired up now. Just hugging those knees just to take some of the tension away and relax the muscles back. We're going to do a nice back bend here now to get a well-rounded out practice, and you're going to give you some options. So you can come into a regular bridge pose, so just raise the hips up, or you can open your shoulders out and hold your hands below your back, or you can come into a half wheel, so your head is on the mat, and or you can push all the way up into the hands and come into a full wheel. And we're just going to hold this. Keep breathing in and out. So you can either be in that bridge, shoulder open a bridge, head on the floor wheel, or full wheel. Come back to the floor and then bring those knees in again. Just rock from side to side, just to take some of the tension away from the back. Yoga is all about yin and yang, and so everything we do will counteract. Awesome, well done. We're just going to take a little floor sequence now, and we are going to put an arm balance into this sequence. But we'll start with heron pose. So raise the left leg into the hands. If you can't straighten it, that's fine. And you can't hold the foot, that's also fine. Now we're going to take a twist here. So take it with the right hand and look over the left shoulder. Again, you don't have to hold your foot. You can hold your leg or use a strap. Okay, come back to centre. And then we're going to take that left foot and put it into a half lotus. If you can't do the half lotus, just bring it into the thigh. Take the hands underneath the knees and fold forward over that foot. So we're getting a great hip opener, but also a stretch in the hamstring on the right. There's a lot going on, and we've got the hands under the knee to support the knee in this position. Okay, now take a twist. So right hand comes to left knee, and if you can take the bind with the left foot behind the back, do so. Again, the foot doesn't have to be in half lotus. You could bring it into the thigh, but it is a good way to learn how to do lotus pose. Okay, let's do this lift now, shoulder arm balance. So take the left foot as high into the left shoulder as you can, or the left arm, and then both hands into the mat and push up. This is elephant pose. So we're raising the bottom off the floor. Keep the work in the right leg so the foot is flexed back. Awesome. Come back to the mat and we'll change sides. Do all of that on the other side. So heron pose on the right. Taking the right foot, if you can, and straighten out. Pull up through the body. So we're also working the abs and the lower back here. It's a strong pose. So really, really, if you can't straighten the leg, make sure you're doing your body bit right. Now we'll take a twist. So right arm comes back, look over the right shoulder, and the left hand takes hold of the foot or the leg. These are not easy. So if you need to pause the video at any point to try it and practice it in your own time, just do that. Now we're taking the right foot into a half lotus. Hands below the left knee, and then fold over the head towards the left knee. Again, if you can't get the foot into half lotus, that's fine, just bring it into the thigh. But keep that hand under the knee because it is supporting it. It's a strong pose. I'll just reiterate again, if you do need to pause the video to practice some of these, go for it. And then take the twist. So the left hand comes to the right knee, and we're glancing over the left shoulder. If you can take the bind with the foot, that's awesome, behind the back. Okay, face the front, and we're going to take elephant pose on this side. So the knee comes as high as you can into the arm or the shoulder, like you're putting a rucksack over your shoulder. And then take your weight in your hands, push up through the hands, and keep that left foot flexed back so the work is in both legs. And then come back to the floor. Brilliant. So we've also got a bit of everything in here, including an arm balance. It's also a good way to learn 8-angle pose and compass pose and 8-angle pose. Okay, we're going to come into cow face legs now. So stack your knees on top of each other. If you can't get one knee on top of each other and it's one knee is up in the air, that's fine. Let's take the arms. So the left arm comes over the top of your shoulder and the right hand takes a bind underneath. If you can't bind your hands in this position, you can use a strap. Now if you feel comfortable, you can fold forward, head towards knee in this pose. If your knees are really separated, then don't fold forward. Also, make sure you stay on both of your sitting bones in this pose, so you're getting the full extent of the hip compression. Right, change legs. So right knee to the floor, left knee stacks on top of right. Again, it doesn't matter if they don't stack together, as long as they are in the right position. Okay, so the right arm lifts and takes the bind with the left hand this time. If you can't take the bind without a strap, that's absolutely fine. Just do this, practice how you need to do it. And if you're comfortable, fold forward over the knee. This is not an easy pose, cow face pose. So again, if you need to work it out, then just pause the video. Make sure you're on both sitting bones. Okay, release this pose. And we take a wide-legged stance here, and we're going to just fold forwards. A wide-legged seated forward fold. If you can, take hold of the feet. Do so. And then we take a side stretch. So we're going to fold the right hand towards the foot. If you can't reach the foot, that's absolutely fine. Looking under that right arm. If you can't reach the foot, it is fine. And if you can't, you can barely fold over a little bit, that's also fine. Change sides. So we're going to take the left hand this time to the right foot. But if you can't reach the foot, it doesn't matter. What is important is that you're getting the stretch down the left hand side of the body, and you're also really working into that hamstring. Okay, bring the legs back together, and we're just going to come back onto the mat now. We're nearly there. You're doing so well. Just give those knees a little squeeze in rock from side to side, and take the left leg long and the right leg, fold over the body and look over the right shoulder. A beautiful passive side stretch, and I promise we are nearly there. You've worked so hard. Keep the shoulder on the floor here and keep looking over the right shoulder, and that way your twist goes from the top of your head to the base of your spine. Change legs, right leg long, left leg folds over to the right, and then glance over your left shoulder, keeping the left shoulder glued to the floor. Getting a beautiful passive stretch down that side of the body. Okay, come back to centre. Let the legs fall open, the feet fall open, the hands open and face the sky. Let the shoulders melt into the mat. Take a big breath in through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. In through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. And now find your own rhythm of breath. Slow in-breaths in and out through the nose, and just really go inside and focus on the sensations in the body. This is corpse pose, Shavasana, and you've earned it. This has not been an easy practice. If you've stayed with me till Shavasana, you've done really well. But this is going to be a great way to practice CrossFit safely without damaging your joints. Okay, stretch those arms above the head, stretch the feet. We're going to take a couple of rolls up on the spine. So 1, 2, let's do one more. Back to hit a dog on mine. And 3, come to sitting at the front of your mat. Bring your hands to heart center. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the divine light within you guide your way on. From my heart to yours, Namaste, Sat Nam. Thank you for practicing with me again, and I'll see you on the next video.